Good morning everyone, how are we all doing today? Fort Augustus, it's a very small place, but it does get absolutely rammed with tourists, with it being at the southern tip of Loch Ness. There's a few gift shops, a few B&Bs, there is a hostel there, a couple of pubs, and if you need any food or anything like that, there is a petrol station there that has got a mini supermarket attached, and you can get all your essentials in there, no problem. Now last night I stayed at the Richmond House Hotel, very clean, comfortable. That bath was fantastic, having a soak in that. It is owned by Chinese people, and I'll get onto that in a little bit. I decided to go for refreshments and sustenance at one of the local pubs. The first one I went to, I actually called in there for some early refreshments yesterday because I arrived fairly early, and there was a sign up saying that the kitchen was closed until 5 p.m. So no problem, I thought. So I went back at 7:30. Went in, ordered some refreshments, only to be told, sorry sir, the kitchen's closed. Now to my mind that means they only had the kitchen open for a couple of hours. While I was in there, there was absolutely loads of people coming in asking for food, only to be told the same thing. Now I'm not a business owner or anything, but with all the tourists and everything, surely they're missing a trick. They'd make absolutely a fortune more money if they kept the kitchen open for a bit longer. But anyway, there was a sign up outside saying that they needed staff, so I presume that could be a problem. So I then went up to the pub just up the road. I'd seen their menu earlier and there was nothing that really took my fancy, but as needs must, got up there and it absolutely rammed. It looked like I'd be having a couple of hour wait before I could even get a seat, never mind a table. So then I went on to my third option, which was the Richmond House Hotel. As I mentioned, it's run by Chinese people and they've got a Chinese restaurant there. So I went in and they very kindly allowed me to order a takeaway meal plus a couple of bottles of refreshment, and so last night was spent in my room having a Chinese takeaway and a couple of bottles, watching TV, which I haven't done for the last couple of days, so yeah, it was fine, no problem. The weather today, as you've probably seen, we've got low clouds. It's not cold or anything, and they have forecast that the temperature is going to be a little bit cooler than the last couple of days, 19 to 20 degrees, and they have said there might be one or two spots of rain later, so we'll have to wait and see. Now the route today, Fort Augustus to Invermoriston, it's the shortest day, only 8 miles, so I've deliberately set off late, and I'm going to have to slow time it all the way there. I don't want to get there too early because it don't look as though there's a great deal there. So hopefully I'll be able to get the drone up today and get some footage. That's if the clouds lift, because we are going to be climbing up onto the high route, and if the clouds don't lift it's going to be a pretty boring day. Now as for content today, I think we're going to be struggling, to be honest. There's nothing of any historical significance on the route that I know of, and if the clouds don't lift we're not going to get views either. To that end, I have taken some boaty type videos this morning, so if that's not your thing, I apologise in advance. Having said that, we are actually following the Caledonian Canal, so I think it's only fair that we get some footage of the workings of the canal, as it were. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. So we're about 2.5 miles into the walk today. There is a bit of a climb as you come out of Fort Augustus, but as I'm really slow timing it, I took it nice and steady. It's nothing major, just a bit of a hill to come up, and then you come onto one of these forestry tracks again where we don't get the views of Loch Ness. But that should improve later because it goes up onto some heathland, I believe, above the tree line. We'll see that when we get to it. Now the main thing is, whenever you're doing these walks, don't just put your head down and trudge along. Just keep looking around. A little while back, there were a couple of logs at the side of the road, and just out of the corner of my eye, there was an animal on one of the logs, and immediately it saw me, darted into the woods. Now it was black and white. Now that's got me wondering as to whether it was in fact pine marten. If it was, I've been very, very fortunate because they're notoriously difficult to spot in the wild. Knowing my luck, it was probably just a big black and white rat. But, like I say, just keep looking around, you don't know what you're going to see. As I'm slow timing it today, I'm just constantly looking around in the woods and everything, hoping to spot something. As we all know, wild animals will probably spot me well before I see them and disappear, but you just never know. Oh, and by the way, the jacket's off, the sun's coming out, so it looks like when we do eventually get up onto the tops, we're going to get some fantastic views. There isn't a breath of wind this morning, and as such, yes, we have seen some midges this morning. Nothing that's going to cause any major annoyance or anything. Well, not yet anyway, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, you come to this, just after the 2.5 mile mark, you come to this point. You can either take the high route or the low route. I'm going to take the high route. If you carry on down the forestry track, that's the low route. And it tells you on this information board about the low route, where it goes, and also the high route and where it goes. Apparently you get a lot better views from the high route, so that's why we're taking that route. So we're just over 4 miles into today. It is a fair old climb to come up this high route. I'd say it's about a mile and a half long. But as I've mentioned previously, I'm in no rush today, so just taking it nice and steady. We've just come up out of the tree line just over there, and the cloud is still fairly low. But having said that, I'm still getting some fantastic views. As you can see, there's Fort Augustus down there, and you can see the cloud layer's still fairly low, but we can see Loch Ness, we can see the far side, and we're up here in Scotland, so who cares. This is the way we'll be heading over the autumn moorland. Now, as regards the temperature, it has dropped a little bit as I've come out of the tree line, and there is a little bit of breeze blowing, but nothing major, nothing worth putting my jacket back on for, not as yet anyway. But I can see these clouds coming over towards me. They might actually envelop me, I don't know yet, but I don't think there's any point putting the drone up as yet. Just a small point coming up out of the on the high route. You do follow a stream most of the way up, and you'll see I've taken some videos of some very nice waterfalls. The only problem I've seen is there's been a couple of spots where people have obviously been wild camping next to the stream. There's the flat ground which gives it away, but they have had open fires. Now, as I understand it, with wild camping, that's a big no-no. I've got my own opinions on it, but leaving the remnants of an open fire is not leaving no trace. I'll leave you to make your mind up on that. So after taking that drone footage, there is a little bit more climbing to do actually. Nothing too drastic, nothing that will kill you. I've had to put my jacket back on though because it's got a little bit chillier up here. But you do get some great views of Loch Ness up here. Now that across there I believe is called Horseshoe Crag for obvious reasons. It looks like it's just been a natural landslip or something, but look at these views. And that's the way I'm heading. Yeah, up on the top here it is quite up and downy. Nothing drastic at all or anything, but then you come across this that somebody's kindly built. So I think I'm going to avail myself of their endeavours and take 5 here. So in the garage back in Fort Augustus in the mini supermarket, I helped myself to one of these. I should rephrase that, I did actually pay for it. I mean, peppermint slice. It's a bit like a caramel slice, but instead of the caramel you've got peppermint slice in the middle. A bit like Kendal mint cake. It's absolutely gorgeous. It does say freshly baked by Yorkshire flapjack. So even the Scottish know that the best things come out of Yorkshire. So we're not far from Invermoriston now. We've just come through what looks like an apocalypse film. I've obviously done a lot of forestry work around here. I don't know if you can make him out down there. That's the first boat I've seen with its actual sails up. I've seen him for a while now, he's been tacking across the loch. But as we come down here, that's Invermoriston down there in the bottom where you can see that green grass. That's where I'm stopping tonight, in somewhere. as usual, the views are still absolutely stunning. Yeah, we're not far off Invermoriston now, and this is where the low route meets the high route again. I've just come from the right there. If you want to take the low route, you go straight on. Well, we're just coming into Invermoriston now. Wow, that was a steep descent from that apocalypse area down to here. Bit tough on the old knees. The only good thing about it is I didn't have to go up it. First things first, as regards to today's route, when I planned it on OS Maps, unbeknownst to me, the route I'd planned was via the low route. I don't recall it giving me the option to plan via the high route. If it did, it's something I missed, and I apologise for that. So as such, I'm not going to put the 3D preview into today's video. There's no point, because that's not the route I took. Instead, I'll put all the boaty stuff in that I recorded this morning at Fort Augustus, for all you people that are into that. If you're not into that, apologies. Now, today's route, it's been a very, very leisurely day today, walking wise. The OS Maps app says I'll have done just under 10 miles, and I've taken it really steady. I've thoroughly enjoyed it though. If anybody else was doing this route, I'd thoroughly recommend taking the high route. I obviously don't know what the views are like from the low route, but some of those views up Loch Ness from the high route were absolutely breathtaking, as I'm sure you'll agree. I was a bit concerned today as to whether I'd actually get enough footage with it being a shorter day. I think I've done okay. I think I've got enough to cobble together a pretty decent video. The only thing left today is to look at my accommodation. It's called the Darrock View Guest House, or Darrock View B&B. So let's take a look at it. But before we do, can I just ask if you've got any comments or questions, anything like that, on any of the videos that I'm doing? Please feel free to put them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if also I can ask that you just take a second and hit that thumbs up button. Apparently it helps the YouTube analytics, whatever that does. And just a little bonus footage. As you come into Invermoriston, you have to cross the River Moriston, and that bridge over there is one of Thomas Telford's. You can still walk across it and everything by the looks of it, but I won't like to take a car across there. And this is the other side of the bridge, the River Moriston flowing down there. Okay, so a quick 2-minute diversion just to take in the River Moriston Falls. That's the bridge we were on a short time ago. Like I said, it's only a couple of minutes off the main road. Very picturesque. This is Darrock View B&B. Let's go and take a look at our room. So this is my room. As you come in, you've got your bathroom. No bath today, but got a nice big shower. Nice big double bed. Got tea and coffee making over there. Nice big wardrobe. We've got a TV. And we've got Sky. And also, there's a little mini fridge there if you need to put any drinks in. Lovely jubbly.